Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Before we do King of Pro Wrestling, we should mention, because we talked about TNA. So about a month ago, they were doing maybe not even a month ago, they did it was a TV taping, and it was Ridge Holland versus Moose, and Ridge Holland went down, and Moose had to help him out of the ring.
He broke his foot, right?
And he broke his foot, he had surgery, and he's going to be out for 7 months. Okay, so today he revealed that
he got told today.
I think they told him a few days ago, but he announced it today.
Yeah,
they told him that we're not renewing your deal when it comes up in November, and so I guess they're going to pay for the rehab, but basically he's unemployed for 6 months and he can't wrestle. So,
yeah, he can't wrestle at all.
In a company that every time someone gets hurt, they do everything in their power to freeze that contract and tack time on to the end. Yeah. In 1 week, they fired someone who was pregnant, and they
in days.
Yes, and Ridge Holland is.
I think that, like, okay, so a lot of times people are going like, oh, if Vince was there, he wouldn't be raising ticket prices, blah, blah, blah. If Vince was there, this wouldn't happen. And 8 cases out of 10, it's total bullshit, okay? But I will say this. If Vince was there, they would probably not fire him until after he was healthy. And for, the thing, too, is that you don't want a lawsuit coming out of this, and but the new ownership, I mean, the one thing about them is they are cold and they are out for profits in any way possible. There's no loyalty. They weren't. The same thing happened with UFC. There were people who were there for years and years and years, helped build the company international. They were dumped. And, anyone could be dumped. And the same thing with this company. When they took over, there were people that were there forever, and you thought would always be there. And
a lot of them.
Yeah.
People you forgot existed because they'd been there for like 35 years.
Yeah. But in this case, when it comes to talent, I mean, like, there is no heart at all. It's like this.
No. And an additional part of that, by the way, I mean, in both of these cases, with Kylie Rae. We mentioned how little she was being paid anyway.
She wasn't making anything.
Yes, and with Ridge Holland, I know people have been saying that he was like making main roster money, but he wasn't. When they sent him back to NXT, and he was there for like years, I think, a couple of years at least, he was making NXT money. He was not making main roster money anymore. And so it's not like he's making some giant main roster contract. He was making NXT money, and they won't even pay that during the time that he's out with his injury.
Well, it's not, even if it was, look, with the amount of money that they take in, it's not like, it's not like they can't afford it. I thought,
how many wrestlers they could probably employ for years off how much John Cena's merch made on that show just this weekend?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's like 90% of the people in that building were wearing the same shirt.
You're exaggerating.
No, it wasn't, dude. There were so many people in yellow. That's all people have been saying. It's just this giant sea of yellow. It was crazy.
I actually stopped and paused. It was about 35%.
No, come on.
Go and look.
I'll pause it all. I'm going to count. I'll count by hand.
Okay, go count by hand. There was a lot, but it was like 35%. Yeah, legit. I mean, it was probably. I mean, the only stuff that I can remember comparing to that would have been like Naito at his peak and Austin at his peak, where you saw, like with Austin, I remember like the whole place would be all these black shirts. But yeah, no, it was a ton of merchandise, and it was $70 too for the shirts. Yeah, so they made a ton. So let's say they sold 4,000 shirts at $70. It's $280,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely more than Ridge Holland was going to make for the next 6 months.
Wait, 4,000 at 7 would be 20. Yes, $280,000. Well, whatever. I mean, but it's not a financial thing. It's just a heartless thing, and I think it's a really bad. The Kylie Rae thing is a bad look. It's a really bad look. Firing someone not firing. Her contract expired. They were dumping a lot of people, but she was still the champion, you know. And it's like, but dumping someone when they're pregnant is such a bad look when they're making no money. But in this case, he got hurt. You know, cutting someone, you know, like I said, when they can't work anywhere else in wrestling for a long, long time, and he's going to have a tough time anyway because, you know, I mean, look, I knew he was a goner because anyone that's a WWE guy, main roster guy, that gets sent to NXT for any length of time is not always on borrowed time, but most of the time is on borrowed time. They're just kind of there for a while, you know, like Cedric Alexander and all those guys. Like, you know that they're in. It's going to be tough. And Ridge Holland, honestly, I expected on the last couple of sets of cuts. I really expected Ridge Holland to get cut, but he didn't. Then he gets hurt, and then, you know, they're waiting for his contract. His contract expires November 14th, and you know, after that, you know, they're not paying him, and you know, they'll pay for his rehab. But I thought that was a pretty classless move, but it's the new normal. I mean, that's what the company is going to be.
Hey, if you love this clip, have I got a deal for you? WrestlingObserver.com. Do you have a commute? Do you work out at the gym? Do you like listening to audio on your headphones or your earbuds or whatever the kids use today? Well, WrestlingObserver.com will give you all the audio you'll ever need in your life. Over 15,000 audio shows. Every audio show that we have ever done, dating back to 2005, is available for subscribers at WrestlingObserver.com. Every time a new show comes out, you can podcast it directly to your phone. If you have a commute, as noted, if you go to the gym, if you like to lift weights and listen to Granny review soap operas, well, WrestlingObserver.com gets you full access to all of these shows and all of these archives. You can go back and listen to TNA reviews from 2010. You can go back and listen to reviews of every WWE pay-per-view, every big story that's ever happened in wrestling. You can get access to that at WrestlingObserver.com. Plus, full access to the Wrestling Observer newsletter every week. 40,000 words of news and information in pro wrestling. Why get all your scoops off Reddit, which aren't even accurate most of the time? Go right to the source, the Wrestling Observer newsletter. You also get Observer archives dating back to 1990. So check it out today. Thousands of issues of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Tens of thousands of hours of audio. All for $12.99 per month or as low as $9.99 if you sign up for a year. You'll never run out of audio if you subscribe to WrestlingObserver.com. So head up there, check it out today, and I'll talk to you again after a while.